Well, today's topic is going to focus on physical fitness, but in reality, it could apply to pretty much anything you claim you want to achieve for yourself, but somehow never do. So, back to physical fitness, people set goals from themselves. Oh, I want to be physically fit, or I want to be strong, or I want to be fast, or whatever. But there's one thing that holds most people back, and that is right here. It's your mental attitude. So, your mental attitude is going to determine whether you succeed or fail at anything, but especially physical fitness. We all have the same 24 hours. Some people build giant billion-dollar corporations from scratch. Some people keep seats warm. It's what you decide to do with the time that you're allotted while you're here. So I'm going to preface what I say by saying I've always been in physical fitness, but I've always been crappy at everything that I've done. I was a terrible bodybuilder. I was a terrible power lifter. Um, I'm a terrible road cyclist currently. I was a terrible boxer, but it doesn't matter. There's always going to be somebody better than you. You're never going to be the best at everything you try. And you're certainly going to be better than yourself who never started in the first place. So, your mental attitude is going to determine where you're going to wind up. So, get rid of the excuses. I don't have time. I don't feel good. I'm diabetic. I'm overweight. Most of the symptoms that people have that they take medications for these days is because of lack of proper diet and lack of exercise. That's it. I'm 60. I take zero prescription medications. The strongest thing I have in my cabinet is aspirin and Tylenol, and I seldom take those, and I'm not on an HRT. I'm totally natural. I've always been totally natural, which probably explains why I've been crappy at pretty much everything that I've ever done when you get to the elite levels. But it doesn't matter. In the end, if you're not making money at doing your hobby, then why destroy your body trying to achieve these things that you'll probably never be able to physically achieve? So just get in the habit of getting up early in the morning before work, or getting down into the gym after work, and get rid of all the processed foods and get rid of all the things that are not doing you any good. Why are you putting muddy gasoline in your car when it's calling for premium? So it's the same philosophy with machines as it is with our bodies. Our bodies are wonderful machines if they're treated properly. And it's amazing that they work as well as they do with the abuse that a lot of people put their bodies through. So I'll do a little, personal example here. My dad passed a few years ago. He's the one who got me into strength training. And he retired at about my age. He was about 60 when he retired. And for the next 25 years, he just sat in his lounge chair and watched reruns of Knight Rider and the $6 Million Man. And at the end, he couldn't even get out of his own chair. And there was nothing physically wrong with him that a little diet and exercise probably wouldn't have fixed. But for some reason, he just decided to give up. And that really I kind of hated him for that reason, because we could have done so much more together in his final years. So if you proclaim that you want to be fit in your 50s and 60s, then I'm not going to sit here and show you an exercise regimen or diet routine. I'm constantly changing what I do, what I eat. But I keep doing something. And I think that's the success, is your consistency and your mental attitude. So don't get discouraged because you're not benching 315 at 60 years old. Don't get discouraged because you can't run a 6-minute mile at 60 years old. Don't get discouraged that you can't do either of those things if you're 20. The fact is, if you do something consistently every day that's bettering you and moving you closer to the goals that you ultimately would like to achieve, you're doing great. Anyway, that's what I have for today. If you like, give me a thumbs up, maybe subscribe. We'll talk about more of these things later. Take care.